Y'all, stop what you're doing, because this right here is about to shake Hollywood to its core. Tracee Ellis Ross just lit the internet on fire, and guess who's burning in the flames? Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yup, America's favorite. Cosby Kid has just been dragged into the biggest scandal of 2025, and it's not about money, fame, or roles. It's about blood. DNA don't lie, baby. Tracee allegedly dropped receipts that prove Malcolm's been hiding a secret child all these years, and when I tell you the tea is boiling hotter than Atlanta in July, I mean the pot is overflowing. The question is, why Tracee? Why now? And how does a man who's been preaching family values on TV for decades end up in a Moria level you are the father moment? This ain't just gossip, y'all. This is legacy destroying, reputation shattering, DNA verified chaos. And the internet already choosing sides. Y'all, hold on tight because Hollywood just cracked open another vault of secrets, and this one got Tracee Ellis Ross, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and a whole leaked DNA report in the middle of it. Yep, you heard me right. We're not talking about some casual rumor floating around the shade room. We're talking about receipts, whispers, and a paper trail that might blow up careers, reputations, and family ties all at once. Now, for months, people have been side-eyeing Tracee and Malcolm. They've been seen at events together, then suddenly, avoiding each other like two kids caught sneaking cookies from the jar. The body language, shaky, the smiles, forced, and the silence? Loud, but nobody expected the scandal to go this far. Because, according to these so-called leaks, there might be a secret child involved, and Tracee's name is all up in the mix. Picture this, Tracee Ellis Ross, the queen of keeping her personal life on lockdown, suddenly being dragged into drama she never signed up for. She's always been the one Hollywood respects for minding her business, giving elegance, giving boss energy, and dodging every messy headline. But now, sis is trending for a DNA report that allegedly ties Malcolm Jamal Warner to a child nobody even knew existed, and when I say this news hit the blogs, it didn't just hit, it exploded like a grenade. The story broke late last night when an anonymous account started dropping screenshots of what they claimed were DNA test results. And of course, social media detectives went into overdrive. Within an hour, #TRACEE exposed and #MalcolmBaby scandal were climbing the charts. People started comparing dates, connecting dots, and even pulling up old interviews where Tracee looked uncomfortable whenever someone asked about kids or family, but here's where it gets messy. Some insiders are saying this whole situation isn't just about a secret child. They're whispering that Tracee allegedly KNEW about the kid, KNEW about Malcolm's double life, and may have even been dragged into keeping quiet about it. Now, that part is unconfirmed, but y'all know how these Hollywood scandals work. Once one stone gets turned, everybody starts digging. And let's talk about Malcolm for a second. This man has spent decades building the wholesome, nice guy image, right? The Cosby Show golden boy who grew up to be respectable, talented, and drama-free. But if these leaks are legit, that whole image might be hanging by a thread. Because nothing screams scandal-like surprise baby reveal in the middle of a career comeback. Now, I know what y'all are thinking, where does Tracee fit into all of this? And that's the question eating up the internet right now. Some say she's just being dragged because of her connection to Malcolm. Others swear she's directly tied to the scandal, like she might have been the one to confront him about the child, or even be the reason the DNA report leaked in the first place. Imagine that, Tracee Ellis Ross dropping receipts in the dead of night like a silent assassin. But here's the kicker, Tracee hasn't said a word. Not a tweet, not an Instagram story, not even a subtle liking random quotes move. Total silence, and in Hollywood, silence is loud. When celebs don't run to shut something down, the people automatically assume it must be true. Which, of course, is only pouring gasoline on this fire. So here we are. The internet is split. Half of folks are saying, no way Tracee would be caught in this type of mess. She's too smart, too polished, too careful. The other half is screaming, oh, this is the scandal we've been waiting for. Tracee finally got caught in the chaos. Meanwhile, poor Malcolm is looking like he just got hit by a bus he didn't see coming, and y'all know the blogs are having a field day. Headlines like Tracee Ellis Ross dragged into secret baby drama and Malcolm Jamal Warner DNA bombshell are running nonstop. Comment sections are uglier than a love and hip-hop reunion fight. And everybody's asking the same thing. Who leaked this DNA report? Who's behind the curtain pulling these strings? Because if it wasn't Tracee, then somebody real close to her or Malcolm wanted this out bad. This is just the beginning, because the more people dig, the more details are starting to surface. Old friends, former colleagues, even so-called family, insiders are crawling out the woodwork with their own versions of events. And let me tell you, some of these stories are straight out of a soap opera. And here's where the story went from bad to absolutely unhinged. Tracee thought she could control the narrative by staying silent, but the streets don't sleep. The DNA report, yes, the same report Malcolm allegedly swore would never see the light of day, started circulating in group chats, Reddit threads, and even private Hollywood email chains. Suddenly, people were comparing signatures, matching fonts, and questioning why the child's last name didn't appear anywhere on the original form. Folks were calling it the ghost baby file. One insider whispered to a blogger that the report wasn't just real, it was stamped with a date from back when Malcolm was supposedly dating Tracee and another woman at the same time. If that's true, we're talking full-on double life scandal. Malcolm apparently thought he could juggle relationships like reruns on syndication, but when a child enters the mix, you can't hit the skip intro button. Now, Tracee's team tried to do damage control. A close friend of hers mysteriously dropped a statement online that read, "Tracee has always been transparent and she supports families of all forms. People need to stop making assumptions about her personal life." Cute words. But fans weren't buying it. The comments section went feral. Transparent about what, sis? So, is it his kid or nah? And the killer one, we need Tracee. On more ASAP. Meanwhile, Malcolm stayed quieter than a library on Christmas Eve. He didn't post, didn't like anything, didn't even pop up on his usual podcast circuit. And that silence, it spoke volumes, because when you've got nothing to hide, you clap back quick. But when you're hiding a DNA test, a timeline, and maybe even a hush-hush financial arrangement, suddenly your Wi-Fi stops working. Then came the receipts nobody expected. Old paparazzi shots resurfaced of Malcolm meeting a woman outside a Beverly Hills clinic. At the time, the tabloids brushed it off as a doctor's appointment, but now, in the context of this DNA circus, people are putting the pieces together. Was that the day the test got done? Was Tracee waiting in the car? The twist? A Hollywood gossip vlogger claimed that Tracee herself was the one who demanded the test years ago because she already suspected Malcolm wasn't being straight with her. Imagine being in Tracee's shoes. You're filming iconic sitcom moments, serving looks on red carpets, and behind the scenes you're fighting over cotton swabs and cheek swipes. That's not just drama, that's daytime soap-level chaos. And let's not ignore how this mess is affecting Tracee's brand. She's built her career on elegance, empowerment, and, yes, being the daughter of Diana Ross herself. But now, social media trolls are splicing together clips of her motivational speeches with screenshots of the leaked DNA report. One viral TikTok had over 3 million views in 24 hours with the caption, "Sis was inspiring us while living a Tyler Perry script." Cruel? Absolutely, but effective. The craziest moment of all came when a supposed family friend of Malcolm jumped into the comments section of a Shade Room post and wrote, "He knows that's his baby. He just didn't want Tracee dragged down with him." That comment alone sent the internet spiraling into think pieces about responsibility, secrecy, and whether Tracee had been complicit in the cover-up all along. And remember that podcast Malcolm built on, the host ended up leaking a voice memo Malcolm sent as his excuse. In the audio, you can hear Malcolm say, "Man, I just can't talk about this right now. Not while the report's out there." He didn't say what report, but come on, we know which one he meant. Fans dissected that clip like it was the Zapruder film, looping it, slowing it down, adding subtitles. The conclusion: he slipped. He basically admitted the report exists, and it's haunting him. Now, Tracee had a choice: go full silence like Malcolm, or clap back in her own way. And oh, she chose violence. Out of nowhere, she posted a picture on Instagram, her in a silk robe, sipping tea, with the caption, "Unbothered, the problem." Fans zoomed in and noticed a document peeking out on the coffee table in the background. Some swore it was the very same DNA paperwork. Whether she meant it as a troll or it was an accident, that post reignited the flames instantly. By the end of the week, it wasn't just blogs and YouTube channels dragging them. It hit mainstream outlets: Entertainment Tonight, TMZ, even CNN. Entertainment dropped think pieces on the Malcolm Tracee DNA scandal. You know it's serious when Anderson Cooper is looking into the camera, asking, could this test change the way we view these Hollywood icons? Sir, it's not Watergate, but go off. But the real kicker? According to whispers, the child at the center of all this is no longer a toddler, they're a teenager. And that means this isn't just about Tracee and Malcolm anymore. There's a young person who's allegedly watching their identity debated by millions online. That revelation made some fans turn the tables, accusing both Tracee and Malcolm of selfishness, of dragging their personal baggage across decades, and of letting the internet eat up a child's truth. The mess had officially gone from scandalous to catastrophic, and if you thought the DNA leak was the climax, oh no, the story was just getting started. Because right when fans thought they'd seen it all, a second set of receipts dropped. And these weren't just blurry screenshots or gossip page comments. We're talking notarized, time-stamped, crystal-clear documents that tied Malcolm, Tracee, and the alleged mother of the child together in one tangled web, and that's where things went nuclear. And just when people thought the fire couldn't burn any hotter, Tracee Ellis Ross decided to hit back. No, she didn't call a press conference. No, she didn't drop a statement through her publicist. She did what every modern celebrity does when the world is falling apart. She opened Instagram, clicked Go Live, and let the world watch her unravel in real time. Y'all, the energy was unhinged. She was pacing, talking fast, waving papers in the air like she was serving subpoenas herself. I don't need to explain my life to anybody, she shouted, her voice cracking. But what I will not do is let a man play with my name, my body, or my truth, that truth she was talking about. The DNA report that allegedly tied Malcolm Jamal Warner to a secret child. According to the leak, the results came back 99.9% certain. That was enough to turn the internet upside down. Memes started flying before the live even ended. One meme had a split screen, Tracee crying on one side, Malcolm sweating on the other, with the caption, "The DNA don't lie, but y'all sure do." But here's where the plot twists. While Tracee was breaking down online, Malcolm was allegedly spotted sneaking into a downtown Los Angeles office building with a woman carrying a baby stroller. Y'all already know paparazzi cameras don't sleep. The photos hit the blogs within hours. The stroller, the diaper bag, the side-eye glances it was giving family outing, not innocent business meeting. And of course, social media detectives went full CSI mode. One fan zoomed in on the stroller and claimed the blanket inside had the initials MW embroidered. Another swore the baby had Tracee's eyes. The comments section looked like a Maury Povich reunion special. One person even wrote, "Tracee been quiet for 50 years. Now she fighting for her life on Live? Malcolm, you got some explaining to do." Meanwhile, Malcolm tried to flip the narrative. His team dropped a carefully worded statement. Any allegations of hidden children or falsified reports are malicious fabrications designed to harm Mr. Warner's reputation. Cute, right? Except 5 minutes later, an alleged former nanny slid into the shade room comments with receipts of Venmo payments tagged baby formula and diapers. She even uploaded screenshots of late-night messages where Malcolm allegedly begged her not to say anything until the tour is over. The tour? Oh yes. Malcolm was supposedly preparing for a nationwide comeback project, a mix of stand-up storytelling, spoken word, and TV nostalgia cash grabs. But with this scandal hanging over him, nobody was interested in tickets. Promoters reportedly started canceling shows, refunding fans, and rewriting contracts to protect themselves. Because, let's be real, no brand wants to be associated with DNA scandal of the decade, but Tracee wasn't done. Nope, in part 2 of her Instagram Live, she pulled the wildest move yet. She held up what looked like an envelope and said, "If Malcolm wants to keep lying, fine. But I have the real report, and I'll show it if I have to." Y'all, the internet lost its collective mind. People were begging in the comments, "Drop it, sis. Expose him. We need the receipts." She didn't show the full report, but she flipped the envelope just enough to flash an official-looking logo. Some sharp-eyed viewers claimed it was the same logo used by a popular private DNA testing clinic in California. Within minutes, Twitter detectives had identified the clinic, tagged their official account, and demanded answers. Now here's the kicker. Just as the world was waiting for Tracee to post the full report, Malcolm tried to strike first. A close source leaked to a gossip blog that Tracee had allegedly forged the papers out of spite. They claimed she was desperate for attention, jealous of Malcolm's new relationship, and willing to fabricate anything to stay relevant. But if that was true, why did 3 more anonymous insiders suddenly appear, each with stories about Malcolm quietly supporting a child off the books for years? See, the problem with trying to cover up the truth is that once one person speaks, everybody else gets brave. Suddenly, timelines were flooded with alleged baby photos, voice notes, and even a clip of Malcolm on FaceTime with a toddler who called him daddy. Tracee's fans were eating it up. One user tweeted, "Sis held it down all these years, and y'all called her dramatic. Look at God exposing lies in 4K. But Malcolm's camp, silent, not a peep." His last Instagram post, Stan, old throwback pic with the caption "Stay focused, stay blessed," was getting dragged so badly the comments had to be turned off. Fans were dropping baby bottle emojis, DNA emojis, even more gifs saying, "You are the father." By the time the smoke cleared, one thing was obvious. This wasn't just a celebrity scandal. This was a cultural earthquake. Tracee Ellis Ross had gone from being Hollywood's quiet darling to the woman who detonated Malcolm Jamal Warner's carefully protected image. Whether the child was truly his or not almost didn't matter anymore. The damage was done. Reputations were scorched, brands were backing away, and the internet had crowned Tracee as both victim and avenger. And the biggest question left hanging in the air? Would Tracee drop the full DNA report and end Malcolm's career once and for all, or was she bluffing, dangling the envelope like bait just to keep the world watching? Because make no mistake, y'all, this wasn't the end of the story. This was just the cliffhanger. Y'all already know the story is way too wild to keep to yourself. If Tracee Ellis Ross and Malcolm Jamal Warner's names are being thrown around in the same sentence as leaked DNA reports and secret children, then you know Hollywood's smoke is about to turn into a full-on fire. But listen, don't just watch and scroll, join the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because we need to hear your take on whether this is messy truth or another carefully planted Hollywood distraction. And make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because trust me, this drama isn't slowing down, and you don't want to miss the next explosive update.